Joe. Can you see me?
I can see you, Derek. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Let me
I like
just get.
that. I like that backdrop you got there, man. That looks cool.
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah. We got
Cool.
the big logo out there. Every time we speak, seems to be a new album these days.
Yeah,
These are these are
it
these
does,
are
huh?
these have come around in quick succession.
Yeah, 3 years and three albums in 3 years.
Yeah, it's incredible, and the most incredible thing of all is this could be my favorite yet.
Really? That's cool, man. I know I like this album a lot, man. I mean, I like them all, but I mean, this one just seems like every song is like really, really good.
It is, and I thought that I must admit I thought that about Rome wasn't built in a day, but
Uh,
this one to me is it just takes it all one step further. It's got that classic Babylon AD sound, but
Thank you.
um,
Yeah.
the songs are just so full of life and everything. And your vocal performance, I think, on this one, um, better than ever.
Right on. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You're one of those rare guys that I put up there with like your Glenn Hughes and people like that who seems
Wow.
to sort of get
That's a pretty good compliment, man.
uh, get gets gets better like as you get older. Your voice seems to have that sort of I don't know what it is. It's sort of like extra depth or extra resonance. I think here as well. And there's some wonderful songs for you to sort of like
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
use
I
it
think
on.
I think I could sing a lot better than I used to when I was younger. I just I've been singing longer, more experienced, stuff like that, listening to different singers along the way. You just pick up a little bit more as you get older. I think most people probably do. Some people don't, but some people get better like fine wine, some people don't.
Yeah. And I think I mean, is there a secret for you, or is it just good luck? I know when I sort of speak to people like, oh, well, last time I spoke to Glenn, I asked him the same question. He said, no, it's just a freak of nature. He's not particularly done anything special. He's not
No,
really.
no, I don't do anything. I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't really practice or any of that kind of stuff or do any kind of scales or anything. And even when we play live, the guys are all like, every once in a while, like, you gonna warm up? I go, no, I'll just warm up on the first song.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool. Oh, it's good.
I just got blessed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and one of the I guess wonderful things is I had a friend who saw you when you hit the UK recently as well. That sounds like it was a hell of a tour.
Yeah, it was fun. We had a great time, man. We met a lot of cool fans. It was very surprising how many people recognize our songs and are singing along with every lyric, even the verses and stuff. You're like, wow, these people got these songs, and I'm like sticking my microphone out there saying, "Help me out! I don't remember that line."
Yeah,
But no,
it's
man, it
great.
was it was it was great, man. Especially when we went to Greece, man. Greece was off the hook. I mean, I could not believe how many people were just fanatical on the band. It was crazy.
Yeah. Had you been to Greece before? I mean, it's a wonderful
No,
place of the world,
no.
that
So
place.
we had no idea what to expect. None.
Yeah.
No.
The very first rock concert I ever saw was in Athens when
Yeah, that's where we were at,
we were
Athens.
we were on a trip from school. I was 14 years old, and UFO played there
Oh, awesome.
the day we got there, and yeah, there's some great fans in that part of the world, and hopefully that means you'll be returning as well.
Yeah, we've already got since we've been back last week. We started getting offers again by different promoters in the UK and Greece wanting us back again. But it's something that we got to discuss to see if we want to do that again.
Mm.
Because a lot of people don't see the backstory stuff. The
Yeah, yeah,
backstage stuff that goes on, and it's hard traveling with like we had there was 8 of us. It's hard traveling with a lot of guys. Road crew and things like that, the transportation, the hotels, gig to gig to gig. Some of them are 5 hours away. Some of
yeah,
them are 3 hours away, 2 hours, no big deal. But one night I think we had to drive 8 hours. So it's not like it was back in the day. When we're on a bus. And everybody's just self-contained, and it doesn't matter because we could sleep in our bunks or whatever, that kind of stuff. So I think if we did do it again next year, it's going to be more on our terms where we, maybe we just learned a little bit of lesson, take a bigger, I don't know how to explain it to you, but
Yeah,
just
yeah,
make the tour a little bit more shorter in between stops.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's huge, isn't it? It'd be like if you came down under. We're over in the west of Australia, and the east coast is as far away as it is from London to Moscow or LA to New York.
Yeah,
There's big
right,
differences
exactly.
involved.
It's almost like
I
you got to get on a plane and fly.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to do something we've never done before for this interview, and that's because I think it's without a doubt one of my favorite albums of the year, probably my favorite so far. I just wanted to go through every track. We've never ever done that before, so
Sure,
if that's okay,
sure.
I'd love to do that. And just for some of the stories behind the songs and stuff like that.
Uh,
I know that there were I'm not sure how many songs there were. I think Ron told me there were a couple of songs that were from the sessions for the previous album or that didn't quite make the cut for the last one.
oh, are you talking about some of the songs that we had demoed for
Yeah,
Rome, but put on
yeah,
this album?
yeah.
Yeah. So like we already had Power of Music.
Mm.
We had that demoed. We also had Torn demoed. Um, what else? I think there was one more song we had demoed that we thought might be on Rome, but we held them back for this album. Because we knew they were good songs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just that that album, that had its 11 or 12 songs, and so we wanted to make sure that we had really great songs on this one.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so we'd had those in our pockets. Um, did you want to go through one of the
Yeah,
songs?
yeah, I do. I do. I mean, I've got so many questions. I mean, one of my favorite tracks is the opener and the title track, When the World Stops. The guitars on that I absolutely love, and they take you right back to I guess the days of the first album. John and Ron just create a wonderful sound on there, and your vocals are sensational. Was that always going to be the title track? Is like,
I think it was as soon as I wrote the lyrics. So Ron gave me the riff on a demo, and it was just basically the riff, and so I was like, well, I can make something out of this, So I went on vacation. I was in Mexico and I just kept playing it over and over in my head, on my phone. And as we're driving from place to place, I always had my headphones on and I was making up the melody in my head and singing kind of out loud every once in a while. My wife would be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm writing a song." Like that. I said, "Yeah, like this," because I don't know when we're going to get to the next town. So I got to try to it's fresh in my brain, so I'm going to keep going. So I wrote that while we were on vacation. I finished all the lyrics up over in Mexico, and when I got back, I put the track down, I sang it, and I stuck it all together and made it a song. Before it was just kind of like a riff, a couple riffs together. Um, and added the harmony guitars and things like that to make it more Babylon AD. Then I gave it to the band and said, "What you guys think?" And they were like, "Yeah, this is great." So uh, that's how that song was produced. And right off the bat, I knew that that was going to be the lead track, and I just knew it, man, that it was going to be the lead track, and it's a perfect. Rome wasn't built in a day. When the world stops, Babylon AD, all kinds of ties in a little bit
yeah,
somehow. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It just, and I love that song. It's weird. I still listen to it almost every other day. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and you think I'd get sick of it. I produced it and wrote it, produced it, mixed it. You think I'd be tired of it, but for some reason I'll listen to it. I go, oh yeah, I forgot I put that in there or whatever.
Yeah, well, when you were writing it in Mexico, I mean, it was
Uh,
one of I recently went to Vietnam for a few weeks, and
oh yeah, that's what you
I
said.
took
Yeah.
I took two or three albums with me, and yours I was playing when we were sort of like traveling through the country, and same thing with me. I just kept coming back and playing that one. So many people asked me about it because I had it.
Really?
There's not a lot of rock music in that part of the world, but
Oh,
which is interesting because there's loads in sort of like places like Thailand and stuff like that. But
oh,
not so
I
much
never.
in there. But people loved it, and absolutely loved the second track on the album as well.
Come on, let's
Come on,
roll.
let's roll. That's just infectious. It's got a classic riff. It um even some cowbell, I think, on that one.
Yeah, there's some cowbell in the breakdown part. So that one, John Matthews had the riff, and I kept playing it over and over in my head, like on my phone, and I was in the kitchen and I was cooking, and I'm coming up with melodies and things like that, and I started like forming an idea of the song of like, well, I because I've never written a song like when I was in high school or something like was a summer of '69,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never written a song like that, or so I said, oh, what if I just tell a story about when I was in high school, right? And I had the perfect story because me and four of my friends went and seen Led Zeppelin the very
wow.
last time they ever played in America in 1977. And I was like, freshman, and man, we took acid and we smoked a lot of pot and drank a lot of alcohol, and that's all it is, man. All I had to do was just write that story. So
Yeah,
it was one of the easiest songs I ever wrote. As long as I just kind of kept the melody and kept like the phrasing right, all I had to do was tell the story. I seen Judas Priest, I seen Rick Derringer, I seen Led Zeppelin, I seen, you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah.
It's just a
It,
story of that. That's it.
yeah. And it is one of those classics of like coming of age songs as well. Like you mentioned Summer of
Yeah.
'69 and stuff like that. I completely get that. It's a wonderful song. I think over the time though, like one of my favorites is the next track, Don't Ask Questions.
Don't
Um,
ask questions. Yeah.
when but like I think I passed it by the first couple of plays, but this is the one that really growed on me. It's
So that song, we have had that song for 35 years, believe
wow.
it or not. And we have been bugged and bugged and bugged by people over the years that had the demo, our first demo of it. You got to put this song out. You got to put this song out. So it was almost like we weren't going to do it. And then we were talking, we are like, man, everybody's been bugging us over the years. Let's just do it. Let's just put it out. So that song is actually written about 35 years ago, believe it or not. It was probably going to go on our first album.
That's crazy because the hook
Yeah.
on there just creeps up on you. It's like one of those things. It's like so understated that
Yeah,
it
we've had
just
that one in our pocket forever, man. And it was like, you know what? It still sounds current enough. Let's just bust it
yeah.
out.
They were right. It's
Yeah.
wonderful to finally hear it. I love what you've done with it.
Thank you.
And the raw energy of Toxic Baby was absolutely fantastic. The
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
radio has been gravitating to that song, and I was a little surprised because I thought it might be a little too heavy or something,
yeah,
or
yeah.
that kind of thing.
So
Um,
where did that one come from?
I have that one for probably 7 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and just a demo tape. I got lots of demo tapes of lots of songs. Even
Yeah,
"Love Is Cruel" I had for a few years, but I never really showed it to the band.
yeah,
I showed Toxic Baby to the band a few years ago, and they were like, "Yeah, let's do this one," but we just never did,
yeah.
you know, because we had so many songs to choose from. And so we went back and listened to all the demos again, and the guys learned that one. I think that was the first song they learned for the demos because they were like, "Man, we got to do this one." I don't know what we were thinking. We should have put it on the last album, that kind of thing. But yeah, I had that one. I wrote that one, about 7 or 8 years ago. So they were already kind of familiar with it a little bit because they had heard it before. And when we started practicing, that was the first one they learned, you
Yeah,
know.
that one sort of like captures that vintage sound as well. I mean, that re sounds really Babylon. So I wouldn't have
It kind
been
of reminds me
surprised.
of like a Mary Ann, maybe, or Slave Your
Yeah,
Body, or something
yeah,
like that, a little bit.
yeah. I get that. The thing that you do best of all, I think, is a track like "I Don't Believe in You." It's
Mm,
you've done songs like that in the past that just managed to sort of capture that. It's almost like a sort of downcast but defiant sort of like sound. It
yeah,
it's like there's sadness in there, there's real emotion, and it's just
yeah. There's sadness mixed with anger. like,
Yeah. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
dare you, that kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, that was another riff that Ron had. And I liked it a lot right off the bat. And he actually gave it to me before we did the last album. And when we started writing this record, I said, I could have swore you gave me like a ballad type of thing a couple years ago. And I started writing with that. Do you remember the name of that? And he said, no, I don't remember the name of it, but I think it might have been this riff. And then he sent it to me. I said, yeah, that's the riff. So I started working up the lyrics, and I changed the song a lot because it needed an arrangement. It was just kind of like a slow, plodding verse type of thing, but it needed an arrangement and needed to get tightened up and made into a song, I guess. Um, but yeah, man, I love that song. It's a great
Yes.
song.
Some great guitar in that. And I love as well almost everything about the next song, Parallel Music. One of the things I most love about it is that I know you and I both love Motown, and you managed to get that into the lyrics there as well as Jimi Hendrix, I think's in there as well.
Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
just captures what it
yeah.
is to love, be in love with music.
Yeah, and so when I produced that song, I went back and I researched like the old reverbs that they used like in the 60s.
Yeah,
If you
wow.
really if you really pay attention to the song compared to the
Yeah,
other ones, you'll hear
yeah,
a different reverb sound kind of. You'll hear that 60s sound. Now that I told you, you'll go, "Oh, that's why it sounds like this Motown 60s kind of thing." Because
yeah,
that was the reverb I used on the guitars and you know what I mean, to kind of sew it together to give it that old fashioned vibe.
yeah.
Yeah, so that one was written for the last album, and we just knew we had a great song. So we like, so, well, we already got 10 songs here, so let's just leave this one and torn. Like, let's
Mm.
make sure we got a couple songs to start the next album. But yeah, I love that track because, like you said, it's kind of like a little mini history lesson of music.
Yeah, yeah.
The power of music. What it can do to you. You
It's
know.
great. It's great. I absolutely love it. I love that. And then by contrast, you get the next song, which I think is probably the most experimental track on the album, Torn. It just pushes
A
the
lot of people
boundaries
say
of
that,
it.
and you're probably the third person that said that, and I'm like, you know, uh, like I said, I wrote that one a few years back too, but I had showed it to the band, and the band knew that we were going to put it on this next album. But yeah, it wasn't like it was written for this album. It was just written a few years ago, and we weren't sure where it was going to go until we started doing this album. Um, I think the melody and the two-part harmony, torn all to pieces, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was experimenting a little bit. I kind of understand what you're saying with the harmony, and the melody is a little bit different for Babylon AD, but the music is still real heavy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost danceable, that one. And yet it's sort of progressive at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful mix of things, and that's another one of the tracks I keep coming back to because I love where things um, just they sound like Babylon, but they just step out of the comfort zone one way or another.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be boring if all we did was, I just told Ron, hey, just write back in Babylon or Bangle the Bells riff, just write it backwards and give it, you know what I mean, or speed it up a little bit, or because there's a lot of bands that do that. To be honest with you, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You'll hear songs that, man, that sounds almost just like that other song they did, and the other song they did. You know what I mean? So I'm always trying to step out of the box as far as I possibly can, but still remain Babylon AD.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it does it wonderfully well. There's another contrast that comes with the next song as well. I think my favorite vocal of yours on there is probably the next one, "The Damage Is Done," which maybe
Yeah.
because it's sort of like so bare bones as far as the music's concerned on there as well. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
sort of like,
yeah. So Dylan had that one. Dylan had all the melody. He had that one basically pretty much written, except for the lyrics. And so that one wasn't really too hard to write, and put together because Dylan, our drummer, is actually a really good guitar player too. So he writes songs too. So he's able to give me, a song that has drum machine to it, or maybe him playing the drums to it.
yeah,
So it's kind of like when I get songs from him. they're a little bit more put together than I do from Ron and John. Ron and John's stuff is more like a guitar riff or two guitar riffs with a drum machine. And then I got to kind of make a song. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But Dylan, he basically had a pre-hook, he had a chorus, he had a breakdown. It was like, heck, man, all I got to do is write the lyrics, you know?
That's
So,
cool. He's
yeah.
fitting in really well, and it sounds like he enjoyed himself on the tour as well.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, he was in heaven. I mean, 24 years old, being
Yeah,
on tour, you know what I mean, of the UK and going to Greece, and first time he'd ever been out of the country in his whole
yeah,
life. You know,
yeah.
he was just big wide-eyed, like, holy smokes, man, you know. And the
No,
funny thing was is like, you know, we're not big on drum solos, but this tour we said, so what we did is when we do an encore, before we do the encore, he'd run out there and he'd do like a drum solo, not a
yeah,
long, convoluted one, but something that had like a little bit of funk, a
yeah.
little bit of Bonham, a little bit of jazz, you know, so that it kept you energized instead of just some typical rock thing. And then we'd bust into like take the dog off the chain, like dong, 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 dong with the kick drum and go into that, you know. And so he was like a big giant kid up there with a big grin on his face every night. Look, I get to show off what I can do, you know. Yes, he had a blast, man. We had a great time.
It sounds like about time for another live album.
Well, we've done three. I don't think anybody wants fourth.
Keep them coming, Derek. I can take another one, I think. Um,
Sometimes I think that because look at Dave Matthews, man. He just puts
yeah,
out every concert he's ever done.
yeah,
It's
A European tour album. That's it's going to be on the cards. I love the Aerosmith in Babylon AD, and I think the next song for me captures that. Um, one of my favorites on the album. It's such fun. Osuki.
Are you there?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you
Oh,
broke
sorry.
out.
Do we drop out? Okay. Osuki, I was talking about. It's
Oh,
such
Suki.
fun.
Oh, yeah. So that one, you know, either people love it or they hate it. That's what we've been getting. I mean, I like a couple of my friends are like, I hate that song, and other ones are like, this is the best song you guys ever wrote. So it's like, geez, man, such a pendulum swing. You know what I mean? And we knew. So Craig had the bass line of that. It was really funky, and I was like, oh, I like this, man. This is cool. So it couldn't be just a regular because it was so funky and different, you know. I wanted to write something lyric wise and things like that that was different, you know. And I just started thinking like you know, like a singer, a nightclub singer, female, maybe like with lots of TikTok people that loved her and all this kind of stuff. And it's just all about her. Oh, Asuki, you know, and she's a singer in a band that's a jazz band,
Yeah,
really cool. You know, this is all the stuff I'm picturing in my head, you know what I mean? So that's all I do is just kind of write the picture in my head about this girl that was a singer, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
just
It,
kind of paint the picture, you know. A
it's
lot of
great.
times that's what I
It's
like to
great.
do.
One of the things I love most about the album, though, is the track listing. It's perfect. The way that you've balanced everything out. You give a little bit different every time.
Cool.
But I have to say, there were times on the last album and times on every album, I think, that just blow me away. Uh, Love is Pain, I think, was one
That
of
was cool.
the ones off the last album. Um, but this one, the closer on this one, Sadness Madness,
Oh, Sadness
the
Madness, yeah.
the the, the twin guitars on there, the harmonies. It's
Mhm.
got everything. It's a absolutely wonderful way to close the album with a ballad that you guys do like no one else. That's at the moment, this is my favorite track on the album.
How crazy is that? You want to know what's something you want to know the craziest thing about that? That was the second song that we ever wrote.
Wow,
Fucking like 1987.
that's crazy.
Second song we ever wrote. And I had the demo of it. It was just a four track of me, John, and Jamie. We did a four track. And I kept it all these years.
Yeah.
And I was in the attic like maybe 3 months before we started working on this album. And I pulled out all our shit from everywhere. And I was listening to stuff. I went, oh my God, that's Sadness Matters. I mean, it kind of saddened, it sounded like shit, you know, but it was like, and the band never even really played it live because it was just us three recorded it. And
Yeah.
I played the song for the guys. I go, even though the demo was really shitty sounding, and we had done it on a 4 track cassette, I think, like that. It was like, there's something here in this song, man. We should finish it and like, make it into a song, So that's what we did, man. We just, listened to the demo, and then the band worked up the song, and we didn't change too much. We hardly changed anything, really. We added the harmony guitar, I think,
Yeah.
but the arrangement we kept the same and everything. And we just kept thinking, wow, that's crazy. We wrote this when we were in our early 20s. Like, this is 1987, but for some reason it sounds cool, you know?
It's a fantastic song. It's like what I can't believe that story. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's been around that long.
Yeah, it's not nothing new, man. All the lyrics are the same, everything. The melody's exactly the same, you know? So
Wow, I'm blown away by that story. I like you need to get back up in that attic. I think there could be some
you
more
know, I
tunes.
I I only went through probably a tenth or maybe of the stuff I have. Uh, I mean, I have so much stuff that it's just almost overwhelming
Yeah,
how much recorded material that I have, either on 4 track, 8 track, 16 track, 24 track, um, virtually ADAT. I mean, almost every kind of format you could think of. So I'm gonna start going through that stuff. I even have the demos of like me and Jack Pawnee, Desperate, Hammer Swings Down, Kid Goes
wow,
Wild, other songs that were never on the album, but were
yeah,
like in movies and things like that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
all the demos. So I'm thinking, Jack told me before he passed away, he said, "Hey man, you should put this stuff out." Him and I talked maybe about 6 months before he passed away.
Yeah.
And he said, "You should put those demos out." He goes, "They sounded really good at the time." I go, "Jack, I still got them." He goes, "Yeah, I know, I still got them too." I said, "Is it cool if I did that?" He goes, "Yeah, man, put them out." So
Oh
that's always
man,
been in the back of my mind, put these
yeah,
demos out that the songs were written for Babylon AD, me and Jack Pawnee wrote together.
yeah. Put them out. I love the other set of demos that you put out a few years back.
Yes,
Brilliant.
that was all the band stuff
Mm,
that we had did for before Arista Records,
yeah,
you know. What was that? 1986 or something like that, 87. I got it sitting around here somewhere.
yeah. I think it was 86, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or 87, 88. Well, I can't even remember. Anyways, um, yeah. So the one song we didn't talk about is Love is Cruel, I think, with the piano, with
Oh, we
the
didn't. I skipped past that. Love it. Love is
yeah.
cool. The
So
yeah. I mean,
that is the new single that hits radio on the 22nd um of this month of October. And the video just came out this morning.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that song, that was another song that I had that song for shit, man, 15 years probably.
Mm,
And I had never played it for anyone except for one of my cousins. And he kept bugging me and bugging me. And he works for us, Twisted Jim.
yeah.
He's in the ones in our videos all the time. He's always, "Man, you gotta put this song out. What are you doing?" Always act like I'm crazy or something. But I never played it for any of the guys. I never played it for anybody. But I had played it for Eric Pacheco, who was our bassist
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
And Julie and Eric had the demo. And my cousin Jimmy had the demo. They're the only ones. And before Eric passed away, we talk about it from time to time. "Dude, we got to put that song out. You got to put that song out." Yeah, 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 blah, blah, blah. Time would go by and I would think about it. It would slip my mind. And so when Eric passed away a couple of years ago, I started thinking that song's got to come out, because he loved that song. And I had Julie play piano on it, on the demo too. So when we put this when we put this album together, I was like, "We need a ballad. Here it is, guys." And everyone went, "Holy smokes, this song's great." They thought I just wrote it like last week or something, but really I had written about 15 years ago, and not showed anybody.
Yeah. That's it's sort of like got that Aerosmithy sort of ballad feel to me as
A
well.
little
That
bit,
one.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
Julie's piano playing is just great. The
Oh,
whole at the very end, like I think she plays like a just a solo a cappella thing all by herself. Um, and it was cool because at the end of the song is really about, I'd say, 4 minutes 20 seconds or something like that. But at the very last note, she hit a whatever chord it was, maybe D minor or something like that. She hits the chord, and I just looked at her. I'm in the studio like where I'm in right now. I look at her and I go, "Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing." And she goes, "Oh, okay." So she just started playing, right? And then as she gets, she's playing like the melody, you know, dun, 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 kind of like going in like that. And I go like, go to the pre-hook, go to the pre. And she's like, oh, ding. And then she, you know, it was just all like live as I'm just kind of like whispering or looking at her going, oh, next part. I just said, just jam, just do what you want. Just do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So there was no cut ins, no punch ins, no nothing. It was just all her live and all her feeling. And I think
Oh,
she was
wow.
really channeling like Eric,
Yeah.
you know, because that song meant so much to them, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
it
crazy.
was a good
So that was
experience.
all the first take.
All a first take. Yep.
Yeah.
And all just like off the cuff.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I'm not like saying before we started the song, I didn't say, so when we get to the end, I want you to do the long solo and do this and do that, you know, and then I want you to, you know what I mean? It was not thought out. It was just like, keep going, keep going. You know, the tape's rolling, just keep on going. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
It's really cool.
My two favorite songs on the album, I think, are the two ballads, which is unusual for me, but
Yeah.
that and the closer, which and two wonderful stories as well behind them.
Crazy, huh?
And I think that's probably my favorite guitar solo of on the album as well in that song.
Yeah, it's very very melodic, and that's what's so crazy about it is John had that all those melodies, all the harmony melodies and leads and stuff he had. He wrote those in 1987. He just copied what he did, like, you know, when we were kids.
Yeah,
So it was pretty
wow.
cool.
It's my favorite Babylon 8. It's not often, and in fact, I can't even think of a time when I've said to someone, I think like however many years it is on now. I don't like to count years from the 80s because I enjoyed
Mhm.
them so much, but it's not often I can say that I think your best album has just been released.
That's great, man. I think it's one of our best albums for sure.
Mm.
Every single one of them to me is like my child, you know, in a
Yeah,
way, you
yeah,
know. So you're like, all right, you're over here and you're over here. You know, you like them all for a different reason.
yeah.
You
But
know,
you're not meant to produce stuff this good though, because nostalgia is meant to always win. So
I know it's hard to go against. Every once in a while, we'll get like a bad thing. Somebody will say something like, "Oh, you know, this song sucks." Blah blah blah. This ain't no Babylon A.D. And I'm just scratching my head, thinking, "Well, yeah, it is. It's the same exact band. It's the same singer. It's the same guitars." You know what I mean? Like they'll say the sound doesn't sound the same. Like, what are you talking about? We're basically using the same damn amplification,
uh,
you know.
and
But
how's the new label treating you? I spoke to Mr. Kibble when I wrote the review, and he yeah he loves the album as well. So and
yeah,
you did that special. They did that special pack
yeah,
when the
that
album.
package is that's one thing he could make. He knows how to market, man, knows how to make
Mm.
a really cool package. That is best basically that is definitely the best packaging we ever had for any album we've ever
Yeah,
done, you
I
know.
got the special pack. I ordered one of those, and the only thing the postcard wasn't signed. So
Oh, well, there was two sets of those. I think he had
yeah.
us sign 100 of them, and then there was another set where we didn't sign.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know which one
Maybe
he sent you.
maybe I was late in the ordering. Let's talk about some other things though now. Last time we spoke, we were talking about your next solo record.
Mm.
How's that
Yeah,
coming?
I'm a little torn right now. I have more than enough songs to do an album that and they're all pretty much, I'd say almost all of them are all done, ready to go. I just got to master them and stuff like that. They're more like I can't say pop, but melodic rock. They're more
Yeah.
like the Babies meet Cheap Trick at the Beatles
Oh,
house.
cool.
Something you know what I mean? It's like
Wow.
it'd be like taking Babylon AD and say, let's strip out the real heavy shit, but
Yeah.
let's keep all the melody, you know. Uh so but at the same time I have enough tracks that are all written to put down a soul album, like a straight up like soul rock album, like Terrence Trent D'Arby type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, so
That's what
I'm
I
trying to and I've been thinking about it every single day, like which one do I release first, you know? you
God.
can't release them both at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn because what, I don't know. Give me some advice. Should I do the soul rock album or should I do the pop rock album?
You can't ask me that question because, like, I loved everything you've done. I love the blues stuff as well. So it
Oh,
sounds like we're
thanks.
not in that territory, but I don't know. Maybe I'd want to hear something different from Derek Davis. Maybe that's the way to go. Because for me, like when you did the funk and the soul album, that's my kind of music.
Okay,
That's what I
so
love.
that's what I have right now. That's
Mm.
what I have right now. It's in that same vein. I was almost thinking about naming it like Revolutionary Soul 2 or something, 2 or something like that,
Yeah, why
because it's
not?
in that same exact vein, that rock
Yeah,
soul vein. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, and like I said, I have another album, like I just told you about. So, but I think you just gave me where I'm going. Okay, I'm gonna do
Uh,
the rock soul album. It's really cool too, man. Really.
I love that album so much. I can't even remember if that was maybe the first time we ever spoke. Maybe was when
I
you
think the
did
first
that.
time we
Well,
spoke was what? Weren't we on the boat or something like that?
oh
What,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
in
that was
person. There was on the Rock
Rob did an
Cruise.
interview
That
with you,
was
I think.
where's the time go, Derek? That was 10
I
years
don't
ago.
know. That was 2015, I think. That was
Yeah,
10
it
years ago.
was. It was.
Hey,
It's crazy.
I don't know where it goes, man. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to get a little afraid. Like, wow, didn't just 20 years ago I was doing this or whatever. It seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it does. It
Um,
does. But there's an incredible sort of like fertile period must be for you. I mean, you're telling me there you've got two albums done. Babylon AD's just released three in 3 years. It's
yeah.
where's this rejuvenation come from? What do you think it is? What do you put it down
Well,
to?
I don't know really want to call it a rejuvenation. It's just I'm always writing. I'm still writing, you
Yeah.
know. So I have a plethora of songs to put out and to go with, you know what I mean? And then I just have to, when I do Babylon AD stuff, it's just like, does this fit that box? Oh yeah, that fits
Mm.
that box. Or oh, this fits the soul stuff. Or this is a pop thing with an acoustic. Oh, this fits this new album, this other album, you know. I've even got some tracks that are just keyboards like Journey.
Oh wow.
It's like, where does that fit at? I don't know. And then I've got some songs, one or two of them actually I wrote with Eric before he passed away, and I've kept them in my pocket for a long time. And they're real like Nine Inch Nail industrial sounding, you
Mm.
know. I'm not sure where that's I'm not sure if people would trip out if I put something like that out, you know. Yeah, but they're cool shit. They're
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
stuff. But it's like, I don't know if somebody's gonna go, oh, who do you think you are? You're not an industrial guy. No, I'm not, but I mean, check this out. Here's what we created.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess a lot of people might have had a similar reaction to when you put the blues album out. Because
probably,
blues can be a bit snobby as well.
yeah, blues is very snobby. Yeah, if you're a blues aficionado, whatever that word is called,
Mm.
you dig it. But if you're a rock guy and you don't like the blues, and some rock guy puts out a blues album, you're going like, I mean, I know because I was a snob like that at one time. I
Yeah,
thought the blues stuff sucked, until I got into like a band Moonshine. When I started playing with
yeah,
Moonshine,
yeah.
I was like, whoa, this opened up a whole nother thing, man. How'd you learn that slide guitar, Dwayne album? Then you start going back and through the history and learning about Son House and Elmore James and people like that. And you're like, whoa, I dig this stuff, man. Why did I not think it was good? And I think the reason I thought it was not good was because growing up in the Bay Area, the only blues bands were white dudes,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
three white dudes or four white dudes, and they'd be all dun 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 dun, dun and you see like four or five songs like that, and they can't sing black,
yeah.
and like this stuff sucks, man. Blues sucks. And that was my thinking that it was because I never delved deep into find out what it was all about
Mm.
until I was like probably 30 or something.
As a Babylon AD fan, I think you've given us some wonderful music over the last 3 years, and as a fan of your music and your storytelling and stuff like that, it's great to hear there's so much more to come. What's the next plans for the band? What?
Well, right now we're exploring. We've got offered a few tours next year, and we're exploring that to see what we want to do.
Mm,
Um, We've got some offers from a lot of promoters um, in the United States as well as UK. So we're kind of just we're putting the brand new single out, "Love Is Cruel." Then
Yeah.
we're gonna put "Come On Let's Roll" is gonna be the next single.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's still everything's still rolling really well, then we're gonna do "Power of Music," I think, for the next single after that. But you know, for right now, getting back off the tour, everybody's kind of like just catching their breath.
Yeah.
We've been gone for a month. We're just all catching our breath. And we decided we didn't want to book nothing in November or December. That's always kind of rainy downtime here in America, anyways. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And everybody does their family stuff. So we're going to gear up and start playing again, probably February, March, April, May, June, that kind of stuff next year.
It'll give me some time to save up to come over again, or maybe take a trip back to the UK if that's what you decided.
Yeah, like I said, we've been getting some offers on that. And we're trying to figure out what we want to do exactly. We just know that the album's a great album, and it's been selling really, really well since it came out. The reviews are all great, and so we're just gonna keep on moving along, keep on chugging on the train.
Yeah, it's a great time to be a Babylon AD fan. Absolutely, it's been a wonderful few years, and long may that continue. Um, Always great to talk to you, Derek. I absolutely love our chats. Thank you so much for
Yeah, thank you
being
very much,
so
brother.
generous again. And
Yeah,
we'll now that you've reminded me, it's been 10 years since we last caught up. I'm gonna have to make sure that that happens again sometime soon.
yeah. And now that you've given me the avenue that I'm gonna do on the next album, the rock and soul album.
Yeah. Wow.
Thank you for that, because I swear I've been torn, man, for just torn for like
I,
about a month and a half. Like, which one am I going to put out next?
for
And
me,
it's
yeah, I was going to say for me, there's no wrong step because I've loved all of your solo work, whichever way you go. But for me
yeah.
personally, if I'm being if I'm
Want to hear the
being
experimental stuff? Yeah, okay, I'm good. Let's do the soul album stuff. Yeah, and I got some great players playing on it this time too.
oh,
Some
cool.
fantastic players. Yeah, great.
That's wonderful. The one thing I wanted to ask you before you go, you put out those wonderful stories on Facebook
Oh yeah,
a while ago, and one of
yeah.
them was the story of the psychedelic sex reaction,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah,
I loved, and we'd never talked about that before. So that was a
yeah,
new story for me,
yeah.
which
Well, that's kind of a hard story to tell, because it's like that was our demise. Yes,
yeah, yeah.
So
So I mean, one of the things I love about the band is you have that sound, and you must know in your heart that that would have been the wrong thing for you to do, and yet you still
yeah. I
you
know it was a hard choice to make. It was probably one of the hardest choices ever, especially when you got Clive Davis telling you, like, you better put this single out, and all this work they did to put it out. And we said, no, no, we're not going to do it. No.
yeah. And I love the fact that you stuck to your guns and you'll never play it live.
Yeah. And like all the radio programmers came out and everything, and they seen us and they thought that they were going to hear that song, and they didn't.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
must have blew them away. They were like, what? They flew us out here for this? You
yeah.
know?
And no regrets.
No regrets, man. I mean, I would, you know, as you get older, you might say, well, that would have been great in my repertoire, but then in for royalties and things like that, the rest of my life. But at the same time, it's like I've always thought of myself as more like like an artist. Not. I don't want to just. I'd rather give something away that's free, that's great,
Yeah,
than play something I know in my heart is not me and make money off of it.
yeah.
I mean,
That's a wonderful attitude to have, and I love some of the stories you've told us through your songs over the years. For me, I'll keep coming back. For me, one of my favorite songwriters, and I don't say this lightly,
thank
one of
you.
my favorite
That's cool,
songwriters
man.
for me.
Wow, that's
There's a
great.
few of you out there still writing. Most of my favorite songwriters have left us, but you're the one who's giving us new material every year. So
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I keep hearing new things that I want to do, and I just luckily enough I keep waking up with new ideas, and I
Mm.
don't have the time to put them down, to be honest with you, because I really, I don't, man. I'm like, geez, man, it's hard to keep up with the ideas that are running through my head. Grab my phone. I'm like, I got 23 ideas on here. Which one do I start next?
I'd love to hear some of them one day. As long as you don't sort of go into show tunes territory, I'll be
No,
all
no,
good.
no, no, no. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Thank goodness for that. Yeah, thank you so much, my friend. Let's not leave it so long next time.
Yeah.
Absolutely
And I'll tell
love
you
talking to
what, let's keep in touch. And when this when this album is ready to go, I'm not going to put it out till next year, because I got
yeah,
to get some
yeah.
breathing room with Babylon AD stuff. But when it's ready to go, I'll send you a link, and just before it's even out, so you can have all the digital stuff and listen to it before it even comes out. How's that?
That sounds fantastic, and I will be very, very honest with you as well. So,
Yeah, and if you say there, and it won't be out yet. It'll be like you're gonna get the juice a month before it comes out, maybe. Where you go, I don't know about this song, Derek. You better take
yeah.
this fucking thing off. You
Uh,
you can get a little bit of help in that aspect.
no worries. Love the t-shirt as well. The absolute best. What
Yeah.
what what do you make of? Have you heard their new stuff with Youngblood?
You know what, man? I was very, very disappointed, to be honest with you, because I could tell it's auto-tuned on the vocals.
Yeah, I'm
I
I'm
heard
the
the
same.
first thing I heard was like, why are they auto-tuning their vocals?
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess maybe it's what everybody does now. I don't do it. I have an auto-tune thing on there if I wanted to use it, but I've never touched it in my whole life.
yeah,
Never.
yeah. It's
If I had
taped.
to use it, I
It's
feel like
taped up.
I can't sing if I had to use that thing.
Yeah, I
I was very disappointed because Steven Tyler is one of my favorite singers of all time.
yeah.
And for him to be using auto-tune, I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me, man. It sounded like Cher when
I
that one
think
song came out
I,
20
I
years
think
ago.
you and I hear things the same. I'm exactly the same.
Did you hear it?
Yeah,
I
sadly.
heard it right off the bat. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
But hey, I guess kids nowadays, they don't know that. I mean, they've grown up with it, so no big deal to them.
yeah. I'm glad we didn't grow up with
Oh
it.
man, jeez. You man.
Geez. Thank you so much, my friend. It's always
Yeah, thank you,
wonderful to
brother.
talk to you. Really appreciate it, and I'll shoot you the link as soon as this one goes live.
Sounds great, man. Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, my friend. Bye.